Hey, good morning, everyone, for joining us. Thank you all for making some time to learn a little bit about eGroup and Cohesity, our partnership, and how we're providing data protection solutions for our customer base. Talking right now with Clinton Boyle, executive for eGroup, and we've also got Fidel Michele joining us as well, who is a solutions architect for Cohesity, and he's got a very interesting story to share with you all as it pertains to Cohesity and his experience with the technology. But before we kind of jump into the Cohesity technology, just want to give everyone a little bit of an understanding of who eGroup is and kind of how our partnership works alongside Cohesity. So eGroup is an IT solutions provider. We've been in business for over 20 years. We've been debt-free from the beginning. And why I wanted to make sure that I mention that is that we don't have investors in our ear or venture capitalists telling us who we have to invest in, what partners we have to have. So every group that eGroup partners with is a technology that we find to be disrupting the marketplace, providing value to organizations that just completely transform the way we're delivering our IT services for our customers and for our organizations, no matter if you're in the financial space, you're in a government entity or healthcare or anything in between, right? We want to learn about your challenges as an IT staff and try to help and connect the right dots to the right technologies to help provide that value back to your organization. So we deliver speed and certainty to the data center and cloud. A big focus for us right now is helping organizations modernize their data centers that are on premises and help them take advantage of the economics of the cloud and really start to create that hybrid cloud experience, which Cohesity does a great job of providing to organizations. So with that, just wanted to provide that quick update on who eGroup is and allow you guys kind of see why we partner with Cohesity as you learn more about their technology. So with that, I'll pass it over to Fidel. So Fidel, feel free to take it away and teach us a little bit more about Cohesity and how you're modernizing data management and data protection.
Thank you very much, Clint. Hey guys. As Clint mentioned, I have a funny story with Cohesity. Well, funny and long. I must have been customer number 2 or 3. I was a principal architect at a company called Ultimate Software in the Southeast, and there was this startup that was solving a problem called Cohesity. From there, I jumped to another startup and purchased Cohesity again, and I've been on this side for almost 3.5 years. So our quick agenda today is we're going to talk a little bit about the Cohesity and eGroup partnerships. We're going to tell you a little bit about our vision, and we are going to jump in and, if we have time, talk a little bit about the UI. So about Cohesity, Cohesity was founded by Dr. Mohit Aaron in 2013. He has a very interesting pedigree. He was employee number 600 at Google, and he was plucked from his PhD program in order to develop that Google file system. From there, he jumped to a couple of startups and co-founded and was the CTO of Nutanix. A lot of the idea or, the hyperconvergence is the brainchild of Mohit. And in 2013, he saw a much bigger opportunity, or the way that he says it is, he saw how we can change the world, and he founded Cohesity. One of the things that we want to do, what our purpose and vision is that we want to simplify. Everything is complicated for companies. What we want to do is simplify the foundation of what we call modern data management. We want to make it easy for organizations to find and organize their data in order to unlock the limitless value that we see there. more into the AI and side of things. So quick thing from investors. Obviously, we have SoftBank, Google Ventures, Sequoia, but also hardware companies like Hewlett Packard and Cisco have invested multiple times in Cohesity. And what this allows us to do is allows us to focus on the software piece while we have the hardware piece very well covered. So going a little bit into our architecture, regardless of whether your data lives in a data center, whether your data lives on a robo site or in a cloud or a cloud subscription, we have what we call SpanFS or Helios, which is managed from a single UI, and that allows us to actually give you that single pane of glass of all your data that is distributed across. But the really interesting thing is that we can do zero cost snapshots of your data. So we can immutably keep your data safe in case of backups or snapshots, but we can create these snapshots also in order to make sure that we can put applications on top. And from these applications, we can actually extend the power of your data. Things like cybersecurity, things like compliance, things like the who, what, and where of your data. Things like data masking and making sure that we provide sanitized data for those developers. This is the main idea. Think of it as a smartphone where you have the typical functions, but you can extend that platform by adding software capabilities on top. From there, basically, these are all the all the use cases that we have. Today, we're going to focus specifically around SmartFiles, and in the times that we leave, we're going to make sure that we touch upon security. So you can bring Cohesity Data Platform as a NAS, an object store. This can be the backend storage of your current backups. We can work with any backup software that you have, and we can just be the repository. From there, we actually have these immutable file system that allows us to actually see the rate of change in your things and have antivirus, anti-ransomware, and cybersecurity applications that you can run on top of your data to make sure that things are going good. We have what we call the multi-cloud hybrid data management, and this basically allows us to have different relationships with different cloud providers. In the case of Azure, it allows us to actually not only protect the data in Azure, not only serve you as a dedupe, compressed, and encrypted NAS and object on top of blob, but actually doing things like DR and anything as a service, right? That we basically merge the data center and the cloud into one usable, cost-effective tool. From there, we jump to the big data, right? New databases, distributed databases, past databases, and the Hadoop workloads. We have a way of augment, replicate, migrate, and protect those workloads. But also, as I mentioned, with this zero-cost snapshot technology and integration with these applications, one of the things we can do is we can use that storage platform as an agile test and dev environment. What that means is that you can have on-demand environments ready for your developers to actually take advantage of your backed up data. And that is only the door. The next is to do more with your backup instead of just having it as an insurance policy, but we have the data. We now bring that compute to that data and allow you to run applications from there. Today, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about object smart files. This is what a typical environment for NAS and object looks like. I have an object gateway. I have a file storage. I have people using SMB and FS, and I have machines using S3. And then I have a bunch of VMs or physical servers that run compliance, like Varonis, antivirus, analytics, and maybe a tiering application. So what we do with Cohesity is that we take care of these object and cloud gateways. We consolidate the data into a software solution that provides both file and object access. One of the things that is very interesting is that we do global deduplication and compression, but that we can also bring those applications onto the nodes and actually run them from within Cohesity, allowing us to do native antivirus, native cybersecurity, native compliance, and native whatever your company needs. As you understand, things change. So we believe that you're bringing a toolbox to a problem and not a single tool. We talked a little bit about why do we believe we are the best in global space efficiencies, and in the comparisons we've done with other NAS vendors, we typically see a 2x or 3x more space savings. I think one thing to look at is that we do variable length block and cross volume deduplication. We do inline and post process. We do use a software algorithm for compression called C standard, and we can change and adjust the size of what we're compressing. From there, anything that has to do with snapshots or clones is unlimited, both in the speed and the zero cost effectiveness. And these are all read-write clones. One of the areas that we are very effective, since we're an object store at heart, is that we don't have a penalty for billions of small files, right? Which traditional file systems, structured file systems struggle with. So those are the options on global space that we provide, as well as how do we change this paradigm where I have to buy a solution then I have limited scalability, and every time that it becomes end of life, I have to purchase another one and go through these very painful data migration. With Cohesity, we solve that in a couple of ways. One is that we have a web scale or hyperscale system that actually has no known limits to how much we can actually grow. We can non-disruptedly add nodes, upgrade nodes, and remove nodes. And what that basically provides us is the independent way of actually scaling your compute with more SSD nodes or more compute-heavy nodes, and storage with more capacity-based nodes. And when it's time for those hardware nodes to be end of life, we can just do that store carousel. We add the new and remove the old. We never have to go through that migration or forklift upgrade. Another very interesting thing is, for any NAS, we have what we call insight. As you can see here, basically we are looking into the data that Cohesity has, and we're crack opening those files, whether they're stored on VMs or they're stored on us as NAS, and we are indexing the contents of those files. So if you have to find a credit card or a social security number, or hey, you need to discover if you have any of those in your environments, we believe our Insight tool actually allows you to search for that and gives you that policy control and search and index. So once we're doing auto index on incremental backups, you can keep a control on what we can see how compliant you can be. And that is very timely, given that now we have to live with the GDPRs of the world and the CCPAs, where our organizations are being strained to see what kind of information we're keeping. So this is the perfect tool for you guys to find and identify that you have that data. Another great point of an integrated app is another app called Spotlight. Basically, this allows us to look at the who, the what, and the where, and allows us to detect access patterns, audit access logs, and take proactive actions. So we believe between the two, we give you the control of your data that is needed in order to run a modern business. And as I mentioned before, it doesn't matter if your data is in data centers, remote offices, or public clouds. What we allow you to do is to operate that from a single UI, have those tools available for you to either real-time monitor, search, and generate those global reports, as well as changing your policies and upgrades. From there, I want to talk a little bit about that cloud integration. Basically, we have three ways that we can help integrate your business with the public cloud and use the price advantages of public cloud and the elasticity promise of the cloud. One is to archive that data, move the old and stale data to the cloud. That allows us to use the cloud economics of moving data that it's not needed and put it somewhere there. The data is going to be moved post deduplication, post encryption, and post compression, and it's going to sit encrypted and deduplicated there. That allows us to keep your data safe, but also allows us to take advantage of that storage. The other way to use that cloud storage is to tier that data that's stale, not second copy. We can extend the power of the cluster. The cluster has SSD drives and HDD drives, but now we can use and flood that cloud storage, that high performance cloud storage, in order to create a more elastic cluster when the data grows without any notice. The last thing is that we can replicate our data to the cloud, meaning if we are having files or VMs on-prem, we can basically have a cloud edition and replicate the data there for things like DR. Another very interesting thing is that we can clone things on demand in cloud format. So if I'm backing up a VM on-prem using VMware, I can use that VMware VM and replicate it to the cloud, convert it to the native cloud format, and I can go between cloud formats. As I mentioned, the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is risk. We live in a risky world where it's integral to have a strategy to solve. So what we do at Cohesity is that we help you defend that data. Basically, the snapshots that you take, we use, and that creates an immutable air gap solution through Worm. We enable that data to go in flight and at rest through encryption, and this is a rotating key, AES 256 military grade encryption with FIPS certifications. We help you restrict access from unwanted people. We have multiple roles. We have a security role that not even admin can change or do. And we have that granular and multi-factor access control that allows you to have control of who has access to your data. Furthermore, if we see things that are not looking good, we can help you detect those vulnerability scannings or those ransomware operations in your production environment. Once we detect it, we can help you respond, basically creating a DR or an instant mass restore or a global actionable search where we know which files have been attacked and which files we need to recover, all within one quick click. Finally, we make sure that you stay in compliance with your requirements, PCI, DSS, SOX, etc. Lastly, I want to show you guys what we do in regards to our protect, detect, and respond. This is very specific to ransomware. If I am a ransomware attacker, we can help you with that immutability file system. Once we see that your production environment is having changes, we will have that anomaly detection of that unstructured and backup data. We will alert you that, hey, you might be being attacked, and we will help you respond immediately and move those VMs and files back to your production environment to have you up in no time. Finally, I want to introduce to you our Cohesity team. In the Carolinas, we have two teams. One is focused on Raleigh and the Triad, and that account executive is Darren Anderson. And then we have the West, North Carolina, and South Carolina, Nick Honecker with their engineers. I'm part of the leadership team for the Southeast, and we're really happy to engage with you here. I'll leave these on the screen for you guys to take a moment and write down any contact information. If not, you got Clint's information, and we can work with that too. From there, thank you, and I'll pass it back to Clint.
Yeah, thanks, Fidel. And yes, certainly we can make sure we get you in touch with the correct folks over at Cohesity if you have any questions. One thing I did want to mention, Fidel brought it up on sort of how they extend to the cloud. eGroup provides what we call cloud backup assessment. And this is a fully funded engagement through Microsoft. We sit down with you and really understand what you're doing today from a backup, from a data protection standpoint, and start to provide you with total cost of ownership for a solution that looks at leveraging Cohesity as your data protection solution and as your backup solution, and what that looks like to leverage Microsoft Azure as your backup repository, right? Leveraging the cloud as your secondary data center to back up those critical applications and data. So what eGroup will do is we'll come in, we'll learn about your business, and then we'll sit down and we'll put together a solution that we think best fits your needs and your business requirements. And then from there, we'll provide you with the financials on a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year total cost of ownership, what the unpredictable costs of the cloud. We're going to be able to come in and provide predictable costs of what it would look like to run not only backups to the cloud from just a blob storage standpoint, but also provide you with the insights on what those things would look like from a cost perspective if you needed to leverage those backups, and those backups need to become live and you start using compute and storage and everything else in the cloud. So that's also included within this workshop, and then providing you with a really good demonstration of the Cohesity product and how that works, and then also providing you what it would look like to just take the whole solution and implement it in your environment. So wanted to provide you with this opportunity. We will be running it in the new year, and it's a great opportunity for us to kickstart any sort of baseline understanding of what you're trying to do, and provide you with really great knowledge, great business analytics towards you making the best decision on your data protection cloud backup strategy moving forward. So feel free to let us know if you'd like to get started or look at this this assessment. We're happy to provide you with details and walk you through what a workshop looks like, and then ultimately execute a workshop for you and your business. So happy to assist where it makes sense. And just wanted to lastly thank everyone for joining us today, and really looking forward to our growing partnership with Cohesity and continuing to find just remediate problems for organizations by leveraging the Cohesity solution, whether it's on-prem or in the cloud. It's a great technology. It's continuously evolving and becoming better every day. And happy to continue to help organizations that are looking to modernize their data protection and backup strategy. So thank you all for attending this morning. I wish everyone the happiest of holidays, and look forward to connecting with everyone here soon and helping them out in the new year. So thank you all for attending, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one. Happy holidays.